All right, so this is phase 1 fire service. We're gonna put the key on. It should start off on the off position. We're moving it to on. You're gonna hear that buzzer. You leave it on. So we're leaving it on phase 1 fire service. Okay, we're gonna step inside. Step inside. We're gonna open up this door right here. Inside the car.
What key are we using here?
Still using 204. You're gonna see this is phase 2 fire service. It's on off. Okay, and so we're gonna put that to on. Okay, so now we're on phase 2 fire service. The door is going to remain open until we hit some buttons here. So we're gonna test a couple things. This is what we're doing. We're testing the system. So you're gonna push the door close button and you're gonna let off. You're gonna make sure that it immediately closes when you release pressure. So in order for the door to close all the way, you have to push and hold it and count to 2 once the door is closed in order for it to stay latched closed. So it's closing all the way right now. Once it gets to the end, 1, 2, let off, it should stay closed. Okay, then you're gonna test the same function on door open. So you're gonna push door open, it gets to halfway, you let go, and you make sure that it recloses. I always like to explain why we do this test to kind of help you mentally understand. So this is for firemen. If they were to get in and take it to the second floor, they want to look, it's called a peekaboo feature. They want to look out the door to see if there's a fire without opening the door all the way. So they're just going to push and look, oh, there's fire, they let go, they want to make sure it closes immediately. Okay, that's the reason for this. Okay, once this is closed, we're going to take it to floor 2. When we get to the floor, we want to make sure that the door does not open. Okay, it should not open. All right, we're at floor 2. Door doesn't open. We're going to do the peekaboo feature again, right? Make sure it works. Yep, works correctly. Okay, then once it closes, we're going to open it all the way. Once the door's all the way open, hold for 2 seconds, let go, it stays open. So the reason for this is if the firemen come to the second floor and they open the door, they want it to stay right here, not leaving the floor. Make sense? So now that we're on the second floor and the door is all the way open, we're going to test the door edge to make sure the door edge is not currently engaged. And the way you do that is you push the door close button and wave your hand in front of the door. And you make sure that it continues even with my hand on that close button. All right, it's all the way closed. Count for 2 seconds. Release, we're still inside. We're going to go back down to floor 1. We don't have to test floor 3. The function is happening on floor 2 and floor 1. We're just making sure it functions. Okay. Now we're on floor 1, and we're going to push the door open button and hold it. It's going to open all the way up. Okay. Now that it's open, we count it to 2. You can let off. We're going to take it off of phase 2, and we're done the test at this point. It's just how to properly end the test. So you have to turn this to off. And what happens is, because this key can be pulled out on, a lot of times if you're doing this you leave phase 2 on in the car and you go outside and you turn off phase 1, you'll no longer have access to the car, and we'll get a lot of callbacks because people forgot to turn it to off in here. So make sure you turn it to off. Now that that's off, you close the door, you come to the outside here. This red light should still be lit. You're going to push it in. You're going to go to reset, count to 2, 1, 2, then go to off. The light goes off and the door closes. Once the door closes, the system is back into normal. And I always make sure that the system runs. Excuse me. I always make sure that it runs when I'm done the test, to make sure that I just select car floor 2 and I make sure it takes off, and then the test is done. All right, so that's the end of the test.